Hi, this is Wilfredo Hernandez, Arts and Culture Group Leader with the Brooklyn Community Pride Center.
And Jackie Adashkin, Communications Director at Immigration Equality.
And we're here today conducting our seventh and final interview of the first cycle of the LGBTQ New Americans Oral History Project.
And we are here today with
Sergey, a King. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
Thank you for that opportunity to talk.
Thank you for joining us. And today is May 27th.
2016.
And let's get started.
And I approve that statement. That message. Okay.
Can you tell us where you grew up?
Yes, I was born and raised in Almaty. It's the city in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the country which is located between Russia and China, and it's used to be a part of USSR. It takes long to tell where I'm from originally because a lot of people don't know the existence of that country.
What was it like growing up there?
Well, being a gay, it was really challenging as long as I started to realize and feel myself being a gay. I knew for sure that I couldn't express my feelings because people wouldn't understand me. But yeah, it was really challenging, and actually when I was a teenager, it wasn't even an option for me to be a gay. I was thinking that it's something wrong with me. It's like maybe something like psychological, wherever, trauma or a problem that can be cured, that it's like just something that is not normally happens with people. And I felt myself kind of weird and kind of, maybe sick. So I felt myself that I need to do something with my sexuality and to become a normal person, to become a straight and so on and so forth. So I was trying to date girls, and it was bad, actually. And well, finally I realized that no, I'm certainly gay, and I need to hide this from family, from friends, from the society, and then I lived my life in a closet. So that's the way how it feels, and how it goes there in Kazakhstan still.
When did you come out of the closet?
Well, it was like a long and difficult process because I didn't feel that I should come out of closet for my family, because I knew that it would be a tragedy for a whole family, for my dad, for my mom, and so on and so forth. Still, some members of my family, they do not know about my personal life. Well, I think that maybe they know something, or they may have an idea, but it would never be pronounced clearly, or I don't think it's going to be like a topic for discussion in my family for a long period of time. So, so some of my friends, they knew that I was gay, like starting 17. I got my first boyfriend, and we were just together. Nobody knew about our relationship. It was like really weird, maybe friendship for the rest of the world, because nobody knew that we are gay, and we socialized just to each other. But then some of my friends, they asked me directly, and I felt myself comfortable because they say, even if you're gay, that's fine with us. We love you as a person, as a human being, and you have a personality, and you're still our friend. So we just want to know something that is part of you and be happy for you. And so some people knew about my sexual orientation when I was a late teen, maybe 19. Still, a lot of people didn't know. And then we can at that point I can tell the story of my life till that period of time in terms of being gay and my like from the beginning to my marriage, or I can tell like partially certain things. If you have questions, how would you like me to?
Whatever you like.
Okay.
Whatever's most comfortable for you.
Okay. So when I was 18, 19, people really didn't know about, a lot of people didn't know. But I had a chance, I was working as a journalist there and everything was fine. I really enjoyed my life. And I I worked for pretty good companies. Like I was a PR manager of Electrolux, which is like I worked for Nike as a PR manager and in different glossy magazines in Kazakhstan, like Ans Health and so on and so forth. But when I was 20 years old, I got a chance to participate in a program which was called Work and Travel. So it was a chance to come to United States for a summer, to work here, to travel a little bit, to see the country, to learn English, to see how it works here, and pretty much that's it. And when I came here, I didn't have like any expectations, but it turned that way that I couldn't find work in the place where I was sent. It was like Ocean City in Maryland, and I had to try to find work somewhere else just to have some money to live and then to travel. And I found my first job in the United States in Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. And if you know, it's famous for, I would say, LGBT friendly environment, and a lot of couples and LGBT families come there over the summer just to stay, it's like kind of a gay resort, if you wish. And I got my first job there as a server, and I realized that being a gay, to live as a gay to live life as a gay can be different from the life being a gay in my own country. And it was really shocking for me, maybe, where everybody was okay talking that you are gay and you are not, and that's fine, and people could openly socialize, could go to different bars, parties, restaurants. Like it was like a really good atmosphere, nothing hostile about. And I realized that it's such a pity that we don't have the same level of openness in Kazakhstan. So when I came back to Kazakhstan, I was a bit changed person from my American experience, and since I was a journalist, I realized that maybe I can do something that is really important, not just commercials or you know um, like regular stuff. Maybe I can like talk about something that is that people um, that people couldn't imagine maybe or couldn't think. Uh, so I knew that. Uh, well, first of all, Kazakhstan is pretty conservative country. It has Soviet Union heritage in terms of has people have Soviet Union mentality, and they share like really traditional values, family values, what they think about families, wherever, and certain topics like not just LGBT rights, but also I would say home violence and women's rights. Those topics were not really, were not really popular. So I wanted to do a material and to publish an article about LGBT life in Kazakhstan, and it turned that way that I could find a lot of material and actually a special report that was funded by Soros Foundation in Kazakhstan that was created. What was the name? I don't remember actually right now. It was something like Invisible and Unprotected. And it was talking about LGBT people in Kazakhstan, that everything is hidden and that you can be attacked in the street, and the police won't react on that attack, and that you can certain like doctors can deny to help you. Can I say that way?
Yeah.
So
There was a report about.
it was a report about LGBT people. I cannot even say LGBT rights in Kazakhstan because we don't have LGBT rights. We don't have such a topic in public discussion. So it was a report, but it was, again, as any report that is funded by that organization, I mean like by Soros Foundation, it wasn't for internal use in the country. It was maybe mostly for the world to know how it is to be, and it was not really published anywhere. So even gay people in Kazakhstan, they didn't know that such a report exists. So I wanted to do a good big article with certain summaries from the report, and also I got testimonies from people to write how it is to live in Kazakhstan, being a gay or lesbian. And I got a lot of stories where people were attacked, even killed, a lot of cases where um, gays and lesbians couldn't get any medical help or attention from the police to the accidents that happened. So I did the article, and it was really, really funny because I had a lot of connections in Russian language media in Kazakhstan, but people didn't want to publish it. They even didn't want to I don't know, share a certain risk with me. And it was something that I didn't expect, but I could find the ways to publish this article. It wasn't in print media, it was in the internet. It was on the major gay website in the country, and in other websites as well. So and when I was working on that article, I was really touched by stories, and I was kind of angry because I truly believe that if you can explain that being a gay, it's okay, and nothing is wrong with that, and it's not gonna affect anybody else's life, and it's not dangerous for kids to know that somebody is gay or lesbian, and it's not something that people think about gays, for example. They think that all the lesbians, they should be like, behave like man, look like man, and gay people should be like really feminine, but it's not true, as we know. And also a lot of stereotypes about LGBT community. So I truly believed, and I believe right now, that if you can explain that it's just a normal life, all the same, people love each other, they can have partnership, they can have families, they can have, they're not gonna affect your lifestyle, someone's lifestyle. And we should be like tolerant. So I just wanted to say, to express myself that way, and just to try a little bit to get attention to the problem, that we should be like more tolerable, and with certain education, I think, enlightenment, when people know information, they behave differently, and they can change their prejudices and their thoughts about LGBT people. But when I published the article, I surprisingly I got into the situation where I became a victim of my work, because I started to get threats, email threats, regular threats, and I got attacked, actually. So it was really hard, because you know, it's not just, it's even um, I was so angry because it was certain level of unacceptance that certain people couldn't overcome just to read the article and just to think about ideas and to maybe get shocked by stories where people got hurt and killed, and it's crazy, and something had to be done. But again, it didn't work. I was angry, and also I was working with a couple of LGBT community organizations, and we wanted to have a demonstration. That year we had in Kazakhstan, it was like Asian games, like a certain type of.
Sorry, can we pause for 1 second? You were saying that there was, you were organizing with other LGBT advocates to put together a demonstration.
Yeah, to put together a demonstration because it was those type of games. It's like Olympic Games. A lot of people gonna come, international journalists, reporters. So it was the way to tell that something is wrong with LGBT rights in Kazakhstan. So we definitely should maybe international authorities and figures can push that topic, and the key idea was to introduce the law, actually, in a constitution of the country, and such a definition as a hate crime as we have here in the United States. Because without that definition, it's really hard to, in terms of law, to get certain protection, because police doesn't want to deal with those type of stories, and it's really hard to get data from them. And in order to prevent those accidents, we definitely should think about we should think about how to inform people, and to inform maybe even president of the country, because I had a feeling that we need to do something. Maybe it was really romantic, or I don't know, I felt myself as a Martin Luther King. But that's how it was at those periods of time. And unfortunately, I couldn't realize my idea with the demonstration because I had to escape from the country. And then I got to United States, and pretty much that was my experience with Kazakhstan. So when I turned 21 here. So everything was like so fast-paced when I came back from the States first time. Like over like 4 months, I got like the army of enemies who wanted to talk to me and to tell me not to write those types of articles.
So So when you got to the United States, what
Mhm.
did you do?
Well, I mean, I was completely, I was emotionally destroyed actually. Maybe I wasn't the person that I used to be, and it was really, it took some time, maybe a year of extensive work with myself and with specialists. Thanks, actually, immigration equality for referrals and for help. I I even didn't think about asylum. I even didn't know about the option. I was thinking that I can like I physically need to be somewhere for some time, and then I can come back home, because I never wanted to actually to immigrate somewhere. I was pretty happy in my country, pretty good. And then my friend here, he said that, Sergey, it may be really bad to you to come back to Kazakhstan. You got attacked. What if you got killed? I mean, that's your life. Maybe you should consider that um, option here. And I started to work on my asylum application. Again, thanks to immigration equality, I got a good lawyer. So we did the application, we prepared everything, and the immigration officer decided that I can be granted asylum based on my life experience. So that's the deal.
What did it feel like to find out that you would have asylum and that you could be safe?
I'm sorry?
What did it feel like to know that you had asylum and you could be safe and not have to worry?
That's absolutely great, because I had like really mixed feelings actually when I was in the process. I definitely, it was true that I couldn't, that I cannot come and live in Kazakhstan. Or I can maybe come, but I should be closeted and I cannot partially do my job being a journalist, because I got really hard time. I would I would get some hard time getting job, knowing the fact that I have bad, I don't know, views on life, and I don't support traditional values, and I'm pretty liberal, and I wanna do different type of things and to write on different topics that are, I think, socially important, and that has to be discussed. Well, I was in mixed feelings because I couldn't come back home, and I wasn't sure what should I do here, and who needs me here, and how to live, how to survive, what should I do, and it was challenging, but luckily um, I got acquainted to my future husband. I didn't know that. It turned the way that we are happily married for almost 3 years now, and we are together for 6 years. So he was the person who supported me and who told me that, everything will be fine, you will see, take yourself some time. And finally, I'm here and I'm pretty happy with my life right now. But 5 years ago, oh, it was the year of 2011, right? 5 years ago. No. Five? Yeah. 5 years ago, I was really in mixed feelings. I knew that I'm alive and I'm in a safe place, but at the same time, I missed my family, home, friends, work, lifestyle, everything. Because when you change your life so quickly, well, you have certain shock. So, but when I realized that most likely I will get asylum because we could collect all the proofs, different testimonials and records that everything that I'm talking about right now is true and the other things. So I was pretty positive that I would get asylum, but the process again took longer because it was a backlog there in the local immigration agency, service agency, whatever. And even even when I was sure that I would get asylum, I was kind of also nervous. What if not? And it took longer. It took like almost 4 years to get asylum for me here in New York because of the backlog. But then it was the other moment when I lived like 4 years here and I got married to a man and I got new friends here and more or less started to see my future. What if something happens and I won't get the asylum, and if I transferred or departed back home after that big gap, it would be like all the time. I mean, like all. It will be the same way from zero to, I don't know how to say that in English. Все начать с нуля. С нуля, когда ты все начинаешь. Когда у тебя ничего нет, и ты начинаешь все заново.
Everything starts from scratch.
From scratch, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was, again, worried. Well, finally, when I got the asylum, it was good. Good feeling.
So what is your life like now?
Right now, I'm a student. A year ago, I decided to come back to school, and I study biology. I'm gonna get my second degree in biology, and I'm planning to do research in biology this summer, and hopefully
Where are you
later.
studying? Where are you studying?
I'm a student at Hunter, and I'm gonna do the research in NYU with one amazing professor and researcher. We're gonna do medicine of future.
That's amazing.
Create medicine of the future.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you live in Brooklyn.
I live in Brooklyn and Brighton Beach in Russian neighborhood with my husband and with our daughter Kat. We are happy together, and we try to educate people and our neighbors and the other people who live in the area that that's okay to be gay. And you shouldn't be hostile. You shouldn't have any stereotypes.
What do you enjoy about living in Brooklyn?
We live right by the ocean, and every day I have a chance to see the ocean, and maybe it's the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life. It's great. I love Brighton Beach. I love Brooklyn for the ocean.
Do you have any hobbies?
Well, right now my hobby is my school. Takes all my time almost. It's hard to being a social science type of guy to have a transition to math and physics and bio and chemistry. So it's pretty challenging, but I like challenging stuff. So hopefully everything will be okay.
What do you want people to know about LGBTQ immigrants?
I want people to know that we are not that bad. We are good guys, actually. Hardworking, normal people, normal human beings, the same as the other people.
And what do you want people to know about you?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Let people know that I'm a good guy with open heart, and that's enough, I think.
Is there anything else you want to add to the record?
I don't know. I mean, like if it's a long story, if I add something, how then you can design.
Don't worry.
Cut
Don't
stuff.
worry about that. You just tell us what you want to tell
I
us.
just
and
want
we'll
to
figure it out.
tell one thing that I think is really, really important. That actually two things. One thing that right now in Russia and in Kazakhstan and in the rest of the world, there is a huge problem when there is like mass hysteria against LGBT people and a lot of bullying. Teenagers, gays, lesbians, who feel themselves with that being a gay or lesbian, non-traditional sexual orientation. It's really hard and challenging for them to live and grow in that hostile environment, and the rate of suicide is pretty high. And I think it's something we should think all together, we should think about, and maybe we can try to find a way to change it. I know it's not gonna maybe work for tomorrow, but the work should be done, and those LGBT teenagers, they should have an access to information. They should know that it's okay. They should know that they're not abnormal. They're not crazy. And life is the most valuable thing that they have, and they should keep their life. Because I think it's awful to know and to realize that facts, that somebody can kill himself or herself just because that person doesn't fit into that world. It's crazy. And the other thing is, in Russia there is a special law that was implemented. It calls propaganda of homosexuality, or we can say propaganda of homosexualism. And that's a really tricky law, because nobody cannot define what should be considered as propaganda of homosexuality, in what form and how. And that law prohibits LGBT activists and journalists and the other people who can change situation somehow, who can bring that enlightenment to people. That law eliminates this chance, and it's really sad. It's really sad. So that's 2 points I think our potential viewers should know and think about it. Thank you.
Sergey, thank you for participating today and sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.